Welcome to the First Day African American Farmers Association's Farmers Real Talk podcast, a podcast all about giving you a look into the lives of black farmers and others in the agriculture industry. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the podcast. Hello, welcome to the First State African American Farmers Association's Farmers Real Talk podcast, a podcast all about discussing different aspects related to farming and in the farmers industry and those in the industry. Today, our guest is Mrs. Karryl Hubbard, the Secretary of Delaware Department of Labor. Hello, Karryl. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today.
It's a pleasure to have you. My first question for you is, could you describe your background and your journey as it relates to agriculture?
Okay. Well, I am from Dover, Delaware, born and raised. And we lived in the city of Dover, so we really didn't have a farming presence. But I am the great granddaughter of a farmer who had a farm in Berlin, Maryland, 30 acres. He sold peach trees, horses, cows, had a pretty large presence down there in Worcester County, Maryland, many, many years ago. In fact, my grandfather has 14 siblings or so, and most of them stayed on the farm. However, my grandfather decided that he did not want to farm, so he went off to college at Hampton University to play baseball. So that sort of cut the cord on my family's trajectory into farming.
Awesome. That's funny. My great grandparents had 12 kids, so it's always funny whenever you hear a story about a family having a ton of children.
So many
It's
kids.
always a welcome story. Excellent, excellent. So we definitely wanted to have you on simply because next week we have the big Black Farmers Conference at Delaware State University. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the conference. Why do you think the Black Farmers Conference is so important?
Absolutely. I am so excited about this opportunity. I think farming is obviously critically important to all of us. It's something that we take for granted as we eat our processed foods and do our fast food and go to restaurants. But, at the very beginning of that is somebody who is running a farm, picking vegetables in a farm and, taking or housing bees, doing all of those things related to farming that don't come to our consciousness on a regular basis. So, in my role here at the Department of Labor, we work very hard to link people with employment and find employees for employers. And I really believe that farming is something that folks don't often think about as a viable career path or an opportunity for them. Delaware State, I grew up down the street from Delaware State, and it has always been a big agricultural force in Delaware. And so, there are many opportunities through the university to get educated around aspects of farming and agriculture. So I think this is a real culmination, and Delaware State can be a leader in this conversation because of its history in agriculture in Delaware.
Absolutely. I also have a personal connection with Delaware State University. I graduated from there, and I'm a graduated in agriculture. So this
Yes.
conference, once we was making it, well, once the event coordinator, Leandra Casson Marshall, was creating it, I was like, this is a great opportunity for students to actually see farmers, real farmers. I'm from originally New Jersey, and when I came to Delaware, I was like, I've never seen farms to this scale. I've seen this on the side of the road where they sell tomatoes and things like that, but actually seeing it in person. And this is a great opportunity for students that are like me, where they are not from agriculture based. or agricultural like based areas. Getting to meet with farmers, getting to hear farmers' stories, getting to see the equipment mall that we'll have where they can see the new equipment such as tractors that can be controlled by iPads. It's excellent that this conference is going on. Mine,
Because I agree. I feel like people don't know how technology has really turned farming into something very different than it's been in the past. So,
most definitely. My next question for you is: you have a presentation at the Black Farmers Conference. What is something that you would like the attendees to gain from it?
well, honestly, I spend a lot of my time promoting what we do here at the Department of Labor. We have five divisions in this department: employment and training, industrial affairs, unemployment insurance, the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and the Division of Paid Leave. And so all of what we do is related to employment and workers. And so we take that work seriously. One of the things that we don't talk a lot about in our department is entrepreneurship, but it is very much embedded in what we do because it's our job to help people who don't have the requisite skills they need, help them gain those skills through training or education. And so many of our programs do just that. We have a number of providers that we work with around the state that provide folks with the training they need to get the careers that they want, and ultimately they upskill to different positions, and then they have opportunities for entrepreneurship in their chosen field if they choose to do that. So I like to spread the word about what we're here and how we can help Delawareans get the career that they are really looking for. I'll be talking a lot about that and some of the work we do related to farming in Delaware. We have two particular areas where we engage in agricultural situations. We have the foreign worker certification program that's housed in our department. And we do farm inspections to ensure that individuals here on visas are have suitable housing and are not experiencing issues as they're here on their visas. So it doesn't sound like we'd have a lot in common in farming, but we are definitely a partner in this work.
Excellent, excellent. I think the gap that this conference is definitely filling is between the public and the farmers to the actual organizations that can be an assistance. A lot of times when we were at, I'm a member of that First State African American Farmers Association, and even though I'm not a farmer myself, we would have meetings and one of the farmers would bring up, "Oh, hey, did you know that a new program just opened up?" And a few might not have known it, but being able to be face to face and talk to different organizations and get to know actually the ins and outs of, um, and sometimes maybe a teaser of like, oh, be on the lookout next week for a program. Getting that type of um, getting that type of connection is definitely worth it. So it's excellent that you mentioned that you always advocate and inform people about different things that's going on that they might not know. So
Absolutely.
thank you, thank you. So my next question is, what thoughts would you like to leave with the viewers as it relates to farming, or just in general?
Absolutely. I think that, again, farming has become one of those things that is very invisible. As time has gone on, we rely more on others to, help us sustain ourselves through nutrition. But these are critical, viable careers that people can go into and earn a living. I think one of the things that I've learned through this is that there are a number of niche farming opportunities throughout the state. So maybe you're not growing acres and acres of corn, but they're specialized farms that grow, for example, produce for a specific type of restaurant or a specific culinary experience. So I just, what I want folks to take away from this is that they too can see themselves in the farm experience. Again, we know that there are barriers. We know that it's expensive. We know that we can't always get the dollars we need to invest. But, hopefully through this session, they'll learn about opportunities and agencies and programs that can help them fulfill their desire to be part of the agricultural community.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
since we are wrapping up this podcast, I would like to take the time to thank our sponsor, Delaware State University's College of Agriculture and Technology, as well as thank our event coordinator for the Black Farmers Conference, Mrs. Leandra Casson Marshall. And finally, ultimately, thank you for spending your time and giving us your wisdom and just giving us the time to talk to you.
Well, again, thank you so much for having me. And Dr. Marshall, I'm really looking forward to the event and getting to meet all of you there at the session.
Awesome. Thank you again. And
thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you once again to our sponsor, Delaware State University's College of Agriculture, Science, and Technology. And thank you for listening to our podcast. If you have any questions, please email us at fsaafa.de@gmail.com. Also, please check out the Black Farmers Conference, held on November 8th and 9th. Thank you, and have a great day.